Now, why do we see in the wild some animals hang around with some animals and not even fear they get along? A little bit like same bird species. They can be getting along more better because they're similar, they eat similar foods and stuff like that. But it's not just that. They get along because year after year, time after time, they didn't have to kill each other. They don't have that instinct that they need a fear. Right? And over time you get instinctive. It's all cool. They're just like me. Right? And so you see certain species mingle, like definitely the grass species, stuff like that. And then when you see the meat species, the savage species, right, I like to call them, you will see that they don't mingle too well. If they do, they're in small groups and stuff like that. And they learn they've got to have small groups, otherwise if they have a big group, they starve and then they're killing each other and stuff like that. And so you see two different worlds, right? You got one world that connects, and that world that connects, you'll start to see that they have a world of plenty. It becomes like a garden of Eden. So when we rocked up, say the first time humans rocked up, animals, when they first don't see you, they don't run off. They'll look at you to see what you are, right? And if you never heard them or anything, then eventually you'd be just like them. You could go out there and do your thing. They'll walk past you. They'll just do their thing. As long as you don't go to grab them or anything, they'll just like keep their space like a human will go, you don't get too close to me. And we're all cool. But once you become that barbaric animal, you'll get a world like theirs where you think you're king shit. See these animals, they'll look around and go, what can I have? I'm this and I'm that, right? And because they think like that, they live the way they live. Right? They've got to live singly and all this because they fear that something's going to come and eat them because that's what they think. See, if you think a certain way, you're more likely to act a certain way as well because you're brought up in it. And that's how they become. They become savages. As I was talking to Emma about these old cowboys and how old people were just savage and they were good for a minute, but then as soon as they can strike, if they're a savage person, that's what they did because that's what they are. She only knows in this show, this savage lady, to kill. That they will only upgrade or get a benefit if they rip off, attack or kill. Right? And as soon as you can do that, do it. Like a lion. Like, right? And that's how they think. But if you don't live in a land of plenty, eventually the way you think in that way eventually kills everything. It's like the negative way. And it becomes a land of nothing. I guess you can say it's meant to be there in the end. Everything's meant to be there and everything will be recovered, definitely over time. You'll have a dead planet and then you'll have to wait. It'll die off itself. And then it's supposed they're there to create a new. So if you're that bad guy, in the end, your path is to kill everything, have points, have nothing, and go shit. And then a new gets started. You're that bad virus to start a new if we need one, or the possibility of one, so others get chances. See, everything has a path, isn't it? But do you like it, or in the end you do? That's the only thing you know. It's like it's meant to be, isn't it? We do have choices as we grow up from the start. We get to eventually halfway point or a point where we choose to be or become to be. And we stick to it, to the environment around us. So if we've got a group that supports us and also continues to be what it to be, it'll make you still able to think that you can be it because they're thriving too. And if you believe that they're thriving better than what's around you and you don't want to be that victim and stuff like that, and you know this group's there, then you might join it, right? And that's just the way it's going out there. So it's up to us collectively and for our kids and that to what they're going to choose. If we want to change, we've got to try to make our kids change. It's harder for us to change as you're already set into that way. But it's not that hard as you'll see in movies and through life that if you know it's right but you can't change, you can get others to change, like telling people, I know cigarettes is not good for me. It's too late for me, right? But for you, don't have it. I'm going to give you this wisdom. I'm going to make you go over there. I'm going to try not make you. That's the first step of any change anyway, even from the good to the bad, because even the good change to the bad because it's survival, right? And it's the same with the bad to the good. And if things are going to last, well, these two are going to mingle like a good virus. If they don't, one one outbeats the other. But the good thing about the good is it eventually always balances itself out as well, right? Which is they'll start dying off. Too much will kill itself too, just like the bad guys, right? And so that's why there's a balance. Bad guys have a position, but if they go too far, they're not going to have much and they're going to struggle and life's not as good. And if the other ones go too far by breeding, it's the same thing. It's too much of too much, not so good. And so you're meant to have the bad guys come in every now and then. We've got to try to work together and to keep that balance. And the closer you keep to that balance in the middle there, and not and upwards, right? Like the stock market, the more we can keep there, the quicker we'll upgrade, if you want upgrades, into a better, different way of life. And usually the upgrades is more better. You get more benefits. You can just go over there, and other different changes is usually an upgrade until you get so upgraded that you wipe yourselves out. And that's the same thing with the upgrades. Upgrades, you can go too far too, where you go, I don't want to live anymore, and you ascend. Remember all those kind of movies? So everything goes too far. It depends on what you want and what happens in the end, isn't it, Emma? Huh. And so it's up to us collectively what we're going to do. And in human history, you will see that we've always done that one a lot. And we end up getting there, but it's sad that we do that a lot, don't you think? Don't you think, Emma? Be good to see a history where we just and not have troubles for a while. And the sooner we do that, the better we can upgrade to a spot where we might feel more comfortable, and then we can stop for a while, right? When was the last time we stopped? You go back in history, you'll see pause moments like that, like all the way through the Roman days for 1,000 years and stuff like that. They're pause moments that worked, but then it didn't work because Romans went too far and they're destroying and not connecting. It's about connecting and getting it right. When it comes to these birds, and it takes a while, I've noticed if something starts off with a certain life, like a slavery or anything, it's not the same, right? And it's hard for them to trust you after certain things, like all the animals out there, because we live in the savage world. We've gone from the Garden of Eden where animals barely all feared you to the Garden of evilness where all animals don't even want to come near you, just like we don't want to come near ourselves. We've gotten to that point, right? And we have for a while now, last couple hundred years, gotten even worse, to the point where all the animals pretty much fear you because they know what you are, and they're kids, right? And so with the birds, I don't expect them straight away to become, loving and flying to me like you see a Garden of Eden person would do, and here comes all the birds. You can get that if you're willing to earn it with the respect of the birds. It means not kill them off all that bad when they die. You can pick them up and they watch them learn and stuff like that, or you kill them off when they're injured. They don't mind that, but you're going to kill them off when they're young and kill them off any time. They're going to see that and go, right? And so when it comes to these birds now, I don't expect them to love me as quick and to be what I hope. If you give them love, you want to get love straight back. You've got to earn it. And so I expect the first time, maybe near the end of their life or something, where they'll naturally want to come and fly to me. We can always force things like a horse. See, with birds, people usually trim their wings and that and get to a point where they force hold them for a little while, a week or two. Birds are freaking out, like with the whip, and then they eventually get put into line where they go, well, they're forced into, I guess you won't hurt me because you've grabbed me, made me a few heaps times, and then you let me go, so I just got to trust that you let me go. Right? And that's how we're forcing connections where you see people go, oh, my bird loves me now. Yeah, but how did you get that love? You scared the shit out of it. No, I know. And so I want to find out a way, how can we get the reconnection back where you don't do that? And if people are willing to take that time and stuff like that and go a different direction, like I talk about when it comes to killing and storing certain things, go in a different direction than to do the same old, because, yeah, it works, but there is other ways, right? And I believe that way we're in a society and a time and an education, and I believe I've got it, where we don't have to do that way if you've got patience. And God says that patience usually wins for a better way when you have a little bit more time. Not too much time, of course, because that never wins either, but to find that balance. And so I expect more likely to connect quicker, so these guys might take years and years to connect in that way because they had the bad life and all that. But then if they had babies, and I've noticed out in the wild, babies out here, they connect quicker, right? And then their babies, again, if you don't quite get what you want there, they might connect a bit quicker because they'll get the instinct and also around it more, right? And their family not freaking out. Because here you'll have a 50-50 moment where some freak out of something I'm talking about and some don't. Then you get to a point where they won't be as bad because they've got the old bomb shock shell, humans, and you got to watch it, and that's how they become like that, besides enemies and instinct. But the more sketchy you get, because the more enemies you have around you, isn't it? And so birds are pretty damn sketchy because they've got a lot of enemies, haven't they, Emma? Yeah. And so that's what I'm hoping to achieve, all of us, in the end, for a while, to get back to that balance. Just like we can get back to that balance and be connected with nature. We don't have to have just stone houses and that. We can be just like that with technology as well. And I believe we need to get back to in more of that 50-50 in the cities. We're already starting to do it in areas, but I can't wait till it collectively happens. And anyway, I just thought I'll have a quick chat about that. And you let me know what you'd like to head, what you'd like to see, and would you do the work for real? And have you tried it? Because it's easy to say, yeah, I'll do it, but you wouldn't know if you're the person until you've tried it for a few years. Right? You'd at least try it for 2 years or something, or a year. You would start to know if it's going to be you or not. Because sometimes when you got to change, it doesn't feel good. It's like testing a food. When you first taste something, you go, I'm not sure if I like it or not, or you go, oh, I don't really like it. Then all of a sudden, you love it because you've got to try it a little bit more to find out. And people find out that with food, like Emma did. You found out that I used to give her food that her mum used to give her every now and then when you're a kid and you only tried it once and you go, nah. But then you got to learn to grow on you, like I was talking about, and I told that with Emma.
I used to hate tuna.
Yeah, and at first, but then after a little bit, and not having so much of it, now she loves it. It can go that opposite direction, eh? It's not only that, I can just eat it. I love it. Yeah. It's like, how weird is that? So all that food out there that you might be eating, you might be rejecting your body to where it might actually love that, right? And you're actually eating things because you're used to it. What was that?
I used to hate mushrooms. And I just gave in and just started eating them when your brother kept piling them on my fucking plate.
Sometimes people do that, yeah. And yet that's the opportunities to try things when people give you stuff.
Yeah, I'll be like, don't give me that.
And
give it to me.
Yeah.
It's like my mum with you with the veggies.
Yeah, and then you're getting a forcing to find out something, right? Like the birds do with the trimming, is that you eat food and you think you're getting forced, but then eventually you love it and you go, well, perhaps I should have been here. So some things it's good to get pushed a little bit, but it's best that you naturally choose to do that. You see, you didn't have to eat that food on the plate, right? But you had the opportunity to do it. And if you didn't, you're missing out, and that's what you did a lot.
I'm trying it every time.
Yeah. Always try something if you got an opportunity. They call that missing out an opportunity. Definitely if you didn't pay for it. So if someone gives you something, even if you don't like it, just try a little bit more. Just try a little bit more. I do that all the time. I tried it with beer, right? I did that for many years, and it never agreed with me. After a while, if it doesn't agree with you eventually, if you don't have, say, more than 10 times, something like that, and you're still getting the same thing or 20 times, then your body's not agreeing to it more likely if it's no change in any direction. Yeah, and to me, my gut doesn't agree. I got used to it with the taste a bit, right? It has a bad taste. Now, you get used to the taste, like I was just talking about. Sometimes you can force to get used to it if you want to, which is not a good thing. Or you'll find out naturally if you like it or not, and best to go that direction if you can. You shouldn't have to force yourself in anything and get used to it unless you're in an environment where you need to, right? But most of the time we can change that. We go, well, a bit extra salt, a bit extra this, we're going to grow a bit extra that, and try to change it. And that's where we head, because no one wants to have to sit there and drink shit, you know what I mean, if you don't need to. But we do it these days because of the way we live and inflation. And certain things we all pick and choose, it's picking and choosing. But it's up to us collectively if we need to do that or not. And at the moment, we're all having bad drugs with chemicals and all sorts of things in it. Bad food with chemicals and all sorts of things in it. Bad spreaded information. So many teachers out there now. So much influence. And it's getting to a point where it's just getting out of control, where we need someone to come in and go, look, this is science. This is the best way to approach it. This is, even though this is harder, this is where we should head to. If we can, we'll do this for now, but this is our goal, and we'll make something that's not so hard. Some people say, well, we can't use that food because that plant's rare or hard to grow. Well, let's make it not so rare and so hard to grow, all right? But then you can. Instead of going no, and then 100 years later you're still saying no because you're still saying the same thing. Oh, but they're rare. But if you started 100 years ago, would they now, Emma? No, they wouldn't be. But you got too used to stuck on the old way. Right? That's what I talk about when it comes to the energy and all these things and new subs and stuff, is that you get stuck on the old way too much, you know, and then you want to do big jumps like Hitler. And we do a little jump in wars and stuff, but we sacrifice a lot to get those little jumps in the end if you just did things a little bit more differently. But anyway, have a good one and see you later.